So summer is hot and I don't want to turn on the oven. So I'm making these easy enchiladas on the stovetop. Typically I bake them in the oven, but it is so hot outside and this is what they look like baked. I'll link a video for this below. But today, every man for himself. I'm making all the ingredients. Everyone's putting their own plates together and it's so good. Okay, the sauce. I found a small box that my husband set aside years ago. We forgot about it. I have like 15 of these left. But comment down below when you remember I sold these seasoning mixes. So anyway, I'm using this for today's recipe. Also, if you have my cookbook, Simply Mama Cooks, Food Cooked with a Mama's Love, this is the recipe for the red sauce. So pause your screen. And I'll put it in the description below so you can make your own red sauce. There you go. So I've got this open. By the way, for those of you that supported me during this little like side quest project of selling these spice mixes online, thank you for that time. That was, wow, that was special. Okay, so this is going to make my job a lot easier for this sauce. Add cooking oil. Now just sprinkle in this package here. And then you just sort of mix it in with the cooking oil and you're creating a roux essentially with the seasoning, spices, and the flour. Okay, I just cook this out for like a minute or so. 2 cups of water going in. And then just combine, mix very well. Once you bring it to a simmer, when you bring it back up to a simmer, you'll just let it thicken and you just want to whisk or mix continually until everything is combined. There are no lumps. So obviously you don't have that seasoning mix packet. So let me show you how to make the sauce when using all of the ingredients from the recipe. Cooking oil into the pan, around 3 to 4 tablespoons. Here I have a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour going in and I'm going to start the roux. For those of you that want an enchilada sauce recipe without using flour and dried seasonings and spices, I do have an enchilada sauce recipe video that I will link in the description below. It gives you 2 ways to make a red enchilada sauce. Now I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of light chili powder. This is kind of like a chili powder blend. And for those of you that are curious, I love to use Bollner's Fiesta brand. A little bit of ground cumin, garlic, and onion powder. And I will also be adding a can of chicken broth. It has a little bit of sodium in it. So at this point, since I'm not using chicken bouillon powder in the mix, you'll want to salt to taste. It's to your preference. So you will have to taste it to add the salt that you prefer. Okay, so I'm going to add a 14.5 ounce can of chicken broth. Now typically I like to use 16 fluid ounces of water and 1 tablespoon of chicken or beef bouillon powder for the liquid in here. But like I said, I'm not using bouillon powder today for those of you that just do not want to use it. So this is another option. So this is only 14.5 fluid ounces. So the other 1.5 ounce I'll add in water. So you'll want to bring it to a simmer and let it thicken. And once it's like this, simmering and thickened, I'm just going to shut off the heat and it's done. I have a pan, a little bit of cooking oil because this is lean ground beef. This is a pound. I'm going to add onion powder. You could use raw onion, like dice it. Here I got salt, going with fancy light chili powder, just a sprinkle here. Garlic powder, and I'm going to add pepper. And just break that apart and cook. If you want to use lean ground turkey meat in place of the ground beef, you absolutely can. It's up to you. A pound of ground meat works for this. Okay, this is done. Okay, I'm making a cheese sauce today. This is actually requested by my cousin who loves the enchiladas like this. Start with, I would say start with a cup to a cup and a half of milk. I didn't even measure. Turn on the heat here. You want this at like a medium low to low heat. Just let that gently come up to temp. I'm working with American cheese. This is a block of American cheese that I shredded. This is about, I don't know, I'd say like maybe 5 to 6 ounces. And this is 8 ounces of sharp cheddar cheese. Use all American if you like. This is just the cheeses I had in my cheese drawer and I'm going with it. Okay, I'm gonna go with my American cheese. The milk is just warming up, and add that in. Just dump that in there. I'm also gonna add the sharp cheddar. That goes in. And then you just, again, everything on low. Don't do this too fast. You don't want to scald the milk and you don't want to burn the cheese. You want it to turn into this just creamy cheese sauce. Also, I'm going to add just a pinch of salt. Here I've got paprika going in. I like onion powder. You don't have to add that. Just a little shake of onion powder. And that's it. I'm going to let that continue to melt and get combined and creamy. I still have the rest of the cheese, so I'm just going to add it little by little. I think I can add the rest now. Continue the process. Okay, the cheese is just cheesing today, and that's what we're working with. Nice. Okay, I'm not even going to do these on the stovetop. I'm just going to grab a bunch, put it in this bowl. Okay, I'm using spray oil. You could use cooking oil with a light brush. And all I'm going to do is this. A little spray. Flip that over. And then a little spray. And then this, you're just going to do the same thing. I'm doing this one-handed. Once I'm off camera, it's easier. But you're just spraying in between each into the microwave for like a minute to a minute and a half. So before we start to assemble these, I want to show you how I typically make these enchiladas when I'm baking them in the oven. And this is just a quick video that I posted a while back. And I make the ground beef. And then for the tortillas, this is how I make them on the stovetop. A little cooking oil, you warm them, heat them through. The cheese, I just shred it. I'm not making a cheese sauce. And of course, the red sauce is all the ingredients. You make it in a pan, you add your broth or water, and you have everything to build the enchilada. And for those of you that have followed me for a long time know I make these in my sleep. You probably do too if you follow me and you get inspired to make these. So I just like to pour the sauce on top. You top it with cheese, you cover it with foil, you bake it in the oven, and you serve. But we're avoiding the oven today, so this is how I'm making it. Okay, these are hot. This is still kind of hot. And the sauce is still warm. But by the way, you could microwave this to make this hotter, but it's fine. I'm gonna add some of this ground beef. Some people would say add cheese. Sure, do that. I have the one hand. And then just give it a little tight roll onto my little dish. And I'm going to repeat the process. Hot. I'm going to do 3. They do stick together when you put them in the microwave, by the way. Okay, your sauce right on top. I'm going to just do that. Okay, I'm going to use this spoon instead of that. So now we take our cheese sauce. Let's see. Right over the top. I like raw diced onion. You don't have to do this. Do not come in my comment section and say, ew, onions. You don't have to add it, but I love it. Right on top. And this is what's for dinner. Add your perfect sides, Mexican rice, beans, salad. Top it how you like. And that's avoiding the oven. And everyone can make their own plate, by the way. You're excited to try this, I know.
Looks very nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know you like onion. And if you want it hotter, you could actually put it in the microwave, but
Yes.
it's different. I knew you would put it in the microwave. Just 30 seconds because it's still warm.
It's done.
Here, you want to use my spoon?
Why not?
I'm going to try. I knew you'd like it. I love the onions on top. And the melty cheese is so good.